Hello, and welcome back to Tanishu VG. Today, I'll be talking about what I think is the standard Ripple Premium deck profile. And by standard, I mean the simplest and one of the more efficient builds for premium Ripples. So, I found this deck from the Haripin channel. It recently topped third at the Haripin VGCS in Japan. Here is the Twitter, and here is Haripin's Twitter. He placed third, this Ripples player, Potepang, and did fairly well in the tournament. So let's move on for the main deck. So your main grade 3 is Thundering Ripple Genovius. And yes, Genovius is back in V form, as we haven't seen him since the original series. So his skills are Act, Vanguard Circle once per turn cost, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5, choose up to one card from random, call it to Rearguard Circle, and shuffle your deck. This is a free call, basically, except for the Soul Blast cost. And every time you rewrite him, which you do a lot of in Premium Ripples, you can use this skill once again. And then his real killer move is Auto Vanguard Circle when this unit attacks. If you do not have any front row stand units, meaning swing with everything else before him, unless certain circumstances require you to not, if you do not have any front row stand units, counterblast 1, choose one of your rearguards, stand it, and if you have 4 more cards in your damage zone, stand all your rearguards. And then if you have Rising Ripple Pavroth, the grade 2 in your soul, all units stand by this effect get power plus 5k. So, he is Axo, and you want to be using Axo 2 in this deck, as it gives you the plus 5k and free draw. So, the game plan with Genovius is basically, if you're pushed to 4, which your opponent can choose to do if they're not trying to damage deny you. If you're pushed to 4, you just use Odysseus to rewrite Genovius to gain more Excel markers, to gain more circles, to gain more rears. And then once all your rears have swung, you will restand everything, and your opponent at that point basically won't survive, as you'll have likely 6 or more Axels, and you'll have enough rears to fill your entire board. So, going on to the other grade 3s we play in this deck, we have one who surpasses the Thorn, Savas. So, Act, Vanguard, Rearguard Circle. Once per turn, cost rest a rearguard, choose up to one of your rearguards, and retire it. You will never see the other skill, as we do not run the grade 4 V Lambros, but the rest of rearguard to choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it is a nice targeted retire that you can use to get rid of pesky cards like, for example, Hanali, who will slow your attacks down and make it so that you can't game your opponent. Another one of is Rolling Ripple Miltiadis. So Act Vanguard Circle. She has Legion with Genovius, and her Legion is with Thundering Ripple Genovius, which is still his name in the V series, which allows you to Legion with Genovius and send 4 cards back. And her Act is Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if in Legion, and you have 3 or more units that are rest in your front row, choose one of your rearguards, stand it, and countercharge 1. Then if you have 3 or more units that are rest in your back row, you get a draw. Her auto is Counterblast 1 when placed on Vanguard Circle. You may look at the top 3 cards of your deck, search for one card with Ripple among them, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and put the rest in the drop zone. So, this card is really good, as you can Legion with V Genovius. If you manage to thin your deck enough this late into the game, which is usually when you would ride her, as you will likely be decking out due to the number of rears you have called, then you can send 4 cards back. If you haven't drive checked or gotten taken damage and hit over trigger, the criminal card, then you can send it back if you guarded with it from your hand, and then your deck is so thin that you'll probably hit triggers. When using this, I recommend putting back fronts. Yes, we play fronts. Heals, if you would like. and your OT if you can. And even putting back Genovius's is a really nice thing, as you can re-ride once again. Her first skill is nice. You'll be able to use it in tandem with the V Genovius' skill, as when Legion you can use both the leader and the mate's skills. The auto counterblast 1, you only play about 5 ripples other than her in the entire deck, 4 of which are Genovius, 1 of which are Pavroth. So I would not really always recommend going into this, but if you'd like to rewrite a Genovius that turn and you don't have a spare Odysseus, then perhaps that 1 counterblast is what you want to go for. For the other grade 3s, we have Estrucho Bubble Dragon. So this is the new effect heals. These are very nice, as they have 15k shield. And then if you did not ride a grade 3 or greater unit during this fight, you can perform one of the following, which is choose one of your vanguards, gets plus 10k to the end of the turn. This is really nice against decks that will attack you a lot and it'll make you easier to guard. Or choose one of your opponent's units and gets crit minus 2 for decks that have a lot of crit. And then the auto, when placed on rearguard circle command, if your damage zone has 0 cards, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone. This you'll almost never come up. But what's nice about the new grade 3 heals is that, as I'm sure every Vanguard tuber has said, you can search them with a grade 3 searcher, and you can use it to discard for G Guardians. Going on to the grade 2s, we have Rising Ripple Pavroth, the V version. Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When it attacks, cost Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7, choose 1 Thundering Ripple Genovius from among them, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If he was on Rearguard Circle, at the end of the battle, put him into Soul, and then auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When stand by your card's ability, gets power plus 5k until the end of the turn. Notice, we only play one of. You may have seen other Vanguard tubers and Ripples recommending you play 3 of the V and 1 of the OG. It allows for some shenanigans that we can talk about later. But the reason you don't need that many is because when you're on grade 2, you can use, and you're not on Pavroth, you can use Odysseus to ride Pavroth from your deck onto whatever grade 2 you're sitting on. And then, since it's grade 2 turn, unless your opponent damaged you this Pavroth, or crit you this Pavroth into your damage zone, well, that's okay. The Genovius plus 5k stand, that skill he gains, is simply just a nice 5k to your already huge rearguards and 50 attacks. So he's a really good card, but you really only need one of them. And then the search is amazing for when you're on grade 2 turn. Just adds another Genovius to your hand. What else do you need? For the other grade 2s, we're playing 3 Kelpie Rider Dennis. Dennis is a simple card. Cost, rest another rearguard, look at the top card of your deck, call it to rearguard circle. And then you can only use his skill once per turn. Is basically what the second skill means. So it's just a simple rest a rear, call the top card of your deck. Gets you more rears, gets you more attacks. Simple. Our next card is a 4, Pursuit Assault. Continuous rearguard circle. He gets power plus 5k for each of your additional rearguard circles. And act, Vanguard a rearguard circle once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1, rest 2 to draw. You will use the Soul Blast 1, rest 2 to rest your Nerisas, or if you just simply want another draw, you can rest Odysseus's or back row rears. And then for the power plus 5k for each of your additional rearguard circles, notice it says additional, so this only means XL markers. But still, plus 5k for each XL is amazing, as you will be sitting on 4 XL by turn 3 usually, and that 4 XL is already a 20k boost to Pursuit Assault. And for those wondering about the cost of this card, it is going to be reprinted in V Clan Collection Volume 5, so I would recommend pre-ordering or buying this card singly from the set, as I do not know how much it will cost. So, our next grade 2 is Koro Assault. Continuous rearguard circle during the battle it attacked. If 4 or more of your other units are rest, this unit gets power plus 15k. So you'll use this card usually after as your 4 swing or more, but since cards like Pursuit Assault and cards like Dennis and Kelpie Rider Nikki rest your rear guards, usually you can get this done by the second or third attack. So the second skill, auto rearguard circle at the end of the turn. If the number of attacks is 4 or more, put this unit so draw a card. Other than grade 2 turn, you should be able to get 4 attacks off from grade 3 turn and after. And it's simply just build hand and build soul, which you use a lot of in this deck. Going on to grade 1s, our first 4 is Flash Ripple Odysseus. Act rearguard circle once per turn, choose one of your rearguards, put it into your soul, search your deck for one card with a ripple in its card name with the same grade as your vanguard, write it as stand, and shuffle your deck. If you road, choose up to one card not named Flash Ripple Odysseus in your soul with the same grade as your vanguard, call it to rearguard circle, and that unit gets power plus 2k until the end of turn. So, this is Odysseus. He is the backbone of your deck, and he solves all your problems. If you start the game with an Odysseus, as long as your opponent doesn't retire it, that one Odysseus will take you very far from grade 2 to grade 3. But normally by grade 3 you'll have at least 2 or more, so then you can do your rewriting of Thundering Ripple Genovius, make a ton of Axos, get a bunch of draws, get power. So, it says choose one of your rearguards, put it into your soul. This can be any rearguard, does not have to be a ripple, so it's an amazing card. Search your deck for one card with a ripple in its card name with the same grade as your vanguard, write it as stand. So this is why when you're on Dennis or you're on Coral Sword on grade 2, you can ride into Pavroth. And then if you are on any other grade 3, or even if you're on Genovius, you can put a card into your soul, rewrite Genovius. You made 2 Axos on turn 3. You have another one, rewrite again. You made 3 Axos on turn 3, and you got a free draw 2. And then, if you road, you can call a card from your soul with the same grade as your vanguard to rearguard circle. If you're on Pavroth, and you don't need the soul, call it the Dennis. If you're on Genovius, and you don't need the soul, call it the Genovius. Because if the Genovius gets retired later, that's only a plus for you, as you can shuffle it back with Nikki or Region, and you can continue to rewrite during the next turn. Our next 4 is Battle Siren Nerissa. Auto rearguard circle. When rest by your card's ability costs so best 1, stand this unit, it gets power plus 10k. Auto rearguard circle at the end of the turn. If you have 4 more rest rearguards, put this into your soul and draw a card. So Nerissa, as always, is a huge attacker, as when she gets rested, soul blast 1 just to stand her, and she gets power plus 10k, already making her 18k. If she's on Axo, 23. You want to rest her again? Sure. You get another plus 10k. And then she builds hand at the end of your turn. So, if you're wondering about the price of this card, she's also being reprinted in V-Coin Collection Volume 5. So I really would recommend, if you want to build premium ripples or almost any Aquaforce premium deck, that you pick up the cards from V Collection Volume 5. Our next 3 is Kelpie Rider Nikki. So auto Vanguard circle one place to look at the top 7, reveal 1 Thavis or Dennis from among them, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Then rearguard circle, rest this unit, put a normal unit from the bottom of your, from the drop zone to your deck, and so charge 1. So basically, when you ride Nikki, you search Dennis or you search Thavis, whatever you need. It's top 7, so it's pretty consistent, and it's just a free add to your hand. And then rearguard circle, rest, put a normal unit at the bottom, soul charge 1. You want the soul charge for basically almost all your skills in this deck, so you really want that soul. And by putting a normal unit to the bottom means no trigger units, but what it does mean is you can put Genovius back, and then that allows you to rewrite Genovius again next turn. Our final 4 for grade 1s is Spiritual Body Concentration, or Condensation. So play this card with cost Soul Blast 1, choose a card With grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your drop, call it to rearguard circle, he gets power plus 5k. So really, you Soul Blast 1. Why do you do this? Well, if you want another attacker with a plus 5k boost, this is nice. But some hidden things you can do with this is Soul Blasting your extra Genovius, calling out a Nikki, and then that Nikki can rest into the Genovius back and give you a Soul Charge. You can do this. This is just a free card that can pull out almost any card you want from your Soul and any card from your drop. So it's a good card to have. For our trigger lineup, we are running 4 of the effect fronts, as when your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, he gets shield plus 5k. That is a free 20k shield. Then we run another 3 fronts. These can be whatever generic fronts you want, although I recommend D and V fronts as they have the 15k shield and plus 10k. We have 4 Emerald Shield Pascal. These are the draw PGs for Aqua Force, and draws are nice. Then we play 1 OT, Source Dragon Deity of Blessing, Bless Favor. So Bless Favor's effect is draw a card, choose one of your units, gets plus 1 crit. All of your front units gets plus 10k, and if your damage zone has the same number of cards as your opponent or more, choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. If you didn't know already, Stoichea's OT is basically a rainbow trigger, giving you all the effects of all the other triggers. Then we have our Forerunner. I chose Blue Wave Recruit Coasty. Just play a V Forerunner, anyone works. When rode upon, draw a card. Then if your opponent's Vanguard's greater and greater, put a Quick Shield ticket into your hand. And the Quick Shield, if you don't remember, is the order that gives you plus 5k. For our G deck, our G zone, which, given you will not always go into that often, but it can help you recover on turns that weren't so good, and it can push your turns forward if you feel necessary. So first, we have 2 of the Blue Storm Steel Dragon Gembo Dragon. So stride cost, and then auto Vanguard Circle 1 placed will get top 7, call 2 from among them as rest, shuffle your deck. 1 it attacks, counterblast 1, turn a card from your G's and face up. For every 2 of your rest rearguards, draw a card, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards, retire it, and if you drew 3 or more, stand 2 of your rearguards. Gembo Dragon is one of the best strides in Aqua Force right now. It's good starting turn, it's good medium game, it's okay later into the game, but you really want to use it as one of your first strides. When placed, we'll get top 7, call 2. That's a free call. Calm as rest, that's okay. It builds for your next turn, and it also allows you to do rest skills like Coral sooner. Then, when it attacks, for a counterblast and a flip, for every 2 of your rest rearguards, which assuming you've gone into Genovius first, you've done your Genovius plays, and you're going into discard next, turn 4 if you want, then you'll probably have at least 4 Axos, 3 or 4 Axos. Then you'll have your 5 rearguard circles. You're most likely to fill your board back row with Odysseus, back row with Odysseus, Nikki, front row with all your units. Doesn't really matter. You get basically draw 3 if you have 6 units. You can choose 3 of your opponents and retire it. And then you can stand 2 of your rearguards for some extra nice attacks. Our next card is 2 times of Torrent Determination, value as Revive, stride cost. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, turn a card of your G-Zone face up, call 2 cards from your hand to rearguard circle for each face-up card in your G-Zone. Draw the same number of cards as units called. If your G-Zone has 2 or more face-up cards, choose one of your opponent's vanguards, and until the end of the turn, increase or decrease its power to 11k, and its power cannot increase or decrease other than by this effect and a Guardian's Shield. So this means that you can freely call from your hand and maintain hand by drawing the same number you called. Then you're usually using this when your G-Zone has 2 or more face-up cards. You can maintain your opponent's power to 11k. This is amazing, as it cannot increase or decrease other than by a Guardian Shield. So this means you're nullifying OTs if they hit it. You're nullifying triggers and their power. and your opponent is stuck on 11k, has to guard all your multi-attacks for that entire turn. This is a very nice card. Your next is 2 of Martial General's Surging Seas, Alexandros. Strike cost, and then Alexandros has a simple effect. Wave second or third time at the end of the battle that this unit attacked. Counterblast 1, choose a face-up card in your G-zone, turn it face up. Choose 2 of your rearguards, stand them, and they get plus 5k until the end of the turn for each face-up card in your G-zone. This is a very nice finisher for the clan, although one could say Genovius is a nice finisher. But basically, wave means on whatever your attack, so second or third attack, and at the end of the battle, this unit attack, you get to stand 2 rearguards, and by then, I would have assumed you went into a lot of G units in your Genovius plays for some reason, so you would at least get more than 5k power, as it's for each face-up card in your G zone. G Guardians do count for this, so add your G Guardians, add your G units, and that'll give you plus 5k for each one. Very simple, but very effective. I play one of Storm of Lament Wailing Thavas. So stride skill, or stride step, and then auto Vanguard Circle. GB3 when this unit attacks. For each battle that a rearguard attacked during this turn, your opponent chooses his or her rearguard, retire it. If you're playing this in Genovius, you're basically retiring your opponent's full field. And then GB2 Wave, third time or more, attack, third time or more, counterblast 1. When it attacks, this you gets plus 5k for each battle that a rearguard attacked, and your opponent can call grade 1 cards from hand to Guardian Circle. Grade 1 is, for some decks, crippling, as some decks still play the old grade 1 PGs. For more new decks, they play the grade 0 PGs, Sentinel PGs, or Sentinel crit triggers, but he's still a very powerful card, as you'll make a lot of attacks, and he'll get power for each one, and then he's basically just a field wipe if you're playing Genovius. There are other cards you can use instead of him, but I'll talk about those in a bit. Your final G unit is Zeroth Dragon of Distance T's Megiddo. So auto when placed on Vanguard Circle. Counterblast 2, choose up 5 cards from your hand and drop. Call them separate rearguard circles. They get power plus 5k, and at the end of the turn, choose one of your other rearguards and exchange positions. And its stride step is you must choose a card with the same name as your Vanguard. So in this case, it has to be another Thundering Ripple Genovius. So Megiddo is an ultimate stride. It's one of the best cards from Mago and Nika. So he basically allows for 5, so that's your normal board. But each time one of those units attacks, you're gonna exchange the position so that you can swing with another unit. It's simple, but it's a very good card. For the G Guardians, we first have 3 of Blue Wave Armor General Galphelia. So discard a Keel from your hand as G Guardian. Continuous Guardian Circle Wave, so second or third battle, this unit gets shield plus 5k. Simple 20k shield. But what makes Galphelia really nice is in her G zone, you can Soul Blast 1, turn this card face down, and then choose a card on your circle or in your damage zone and turn it face up. So it is a counter charge, and it resets herself in the G zone, which is really nice. We play 2 of Guard Leader of Sky and Water, Johannes. So Guardian, G Guardians, and then Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1, choose a face down G Guardian or G zone, turn it face up. I would recommend turning up a Galphelia. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 5 of your rearguard circles, only 5, and then until the end of the turn, they get continuous resist, so they can't be retired by effects and targeted and stuff like that. And then continuous rearguard circle, they cannot be hit. And then if this unit gets shield plus 5k for each chosen unit, you're normally gonna choose 5 or 4, depending on how many rears you have. That adds 20 to 25k shield to her, making her a nice 35 to 40k guard, which is really nice, and will stop most attacks. You also play 2 of Blue Storm Deterrence Dragon, Ice Barrier Dragon, G Guardian, wave first or fourth time or more. So first battle, fourth battle or more. When this unit is placed in Guardian Circle, this unit gets shield plus 10k. Simple 25k guard. Very nice card. Then we have the new Stride or the new G Guardian from Premium Collection 2022, Rebellious Heavenly Foe General Dianera. So auto when put on Guardian Circle, counterblast 1, and then perform the following. If it's the first battle, it gets power plus 5k to one of your units. You normally choose your Vanguard. It's like a pseudo trigger effect. It actually is very nice, as that plus 5k can just be just enough to allow you to not waste as many hands guarding. But that depends on the matchup. And then fourth battle or more, this unit gets shield plus 20k, making it a 35k shield. It's a nice G guard to have. Works first battle, and that will last until the plus 5k will last until the end of the turn, making it easier on your hand. Or fourth battle if you really need that clutch 35k shield. So I'm going to go on to honorable mentions. These are cards that I'm either going to tell you that are a little saucy to have, meaning something just spice up your deck list, or something that you don't need and why you don't need it. First, we have Blue Wave Marshal Valios, the V version. His skill is counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose up to one of your opponent's vanguards. It gets power minus 5k until the end of the turn, and if grade 3 or greater cannot increase or decrease by this effect and Guardian Shield. Once again, stops OTs, stops power, gain, puts them down minus 5k. Nice skill. And then act Vanguard Circle. Once per turn cost, discard a card with the same name as Vanguard. Remove all markers from your circles. Call up to 5 cards from your drop zone to Vanguard Circle. Pseudo Megiddo. I don't really like this skill, as you're removing all your Excel markers, which you built up with Genovius, which, while easy to get back, there's really no reason for you to do it. And then once per turn, at the end of the battle that your unit attacked, choose 2 of your regards and you may exchange their positions. So his second skill, if you can tell, is a Pseudo Megiddo. Please notice that he is a grade 3 without the Excel. So when ridden, you will not gain the Excel. And so I've seen Wisp play 4 of him. I'm assuming that player went very in with the second and third skills. I've also seen Wisp playing just 1 of him. All his skills are Vanguard Circle, meaning you're getting off Genovius when you ride him, but that's not really a problem. It just means you lose Genovius' skill. The first skill is very nice, but considering that we are playing Valios Revive, I don't really see it necessary for you to play this card, but it's a nice spice to have. Another one is Rising Ripple Pavroth, but the OG version. So, Vanguard Circle. If you have Soterio in your soul, gets power plus 1k, making him 10k base. I don't know, just nice for guarding a bit. Auto Vanguard Circle when its attack hits. If you have a card named Silent Ripple Soterio in your soul, choose one of your Aquaforce regards stand it and gets plus power plus 3k. This is a really nice card for your grade 2 turn if you want to rush him down. I personally think he's just a sauce card. He kind of gets in the way of your efficiency. You want to be on V Pavroth your grade 2 turn. You don't really want to be on this Pavroth, although they do have the same name, so they'll still get Genovius' skill off. I just think the search is a little better. Lists I've seen using him are playing for Soterio, as his skill is very reliant on Soterio, and they are also playing 3 of the other Rising Ripple Pavroth. This card, as I said, is nice for grade 2 shenanigans. If you want to swing with him, restand one of your rear, swing again, etc. It's just a little hit pressure. It's not really ever going to make a difference in one of your games, but it is a card that you can try out if you'd like to. We also have Silent Ripple Soterio, the V version. There is no reason to play the OG version. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, look, top 7, choose 1 Thundering Ripple Genovius or Rising Ripple Pavroth and put it into your hand. This is basically the equivalent of Kelpie Rider Nikki, but more for ripples. And then auto rearguard circle when stood gets power plus 5k. Obviously, the power plus 5k is a nice boost to have, putting him to 13 boost and allowing you to boost twice with him. The first skill is a simple free search, which could be nice to have, although he's not necessary whatsoever. Your back row usually is Odysseus's or it's Nikki's, and they are usually just rested because your rearguards really don't always need that boost. While it does give a nice edge, it is not necessary. And then the first skill, while nice, yes, adds Pavroth, adds Genovius, there's a high chance that you already have Genovius. Even if you ride the wrong grade 3, you have Odysseus, so you don't need that search. Then you don't need the Pavroth either, as if you have Odysseus, he does the same thing. It's just a little redundant to have this card in your deck, and while it may look like it ups your efficiency, it really will not have that major effect. Another card that I recommend you try out is Progenitor Dragon of the Deep Sea Baronera. Continuous G-Zone. You have to discard a card with the same name as your Vanguard Circle, by the way. Continuous G-Zone. This card cannot be turned up face up by abilities, so you can't use them to G flip. If this card is face up, you can stride it without paying the strike cost. A very nice skill to have. Auto Vanguard Circle. When your opponent's Guardian is placed, discard a grade 1 or less card from your hand, retire that Guardian. It is a really nice card for denying your opponent's guards. Stops grade 0s, stops grade 1s. Very nice. The only reason I'm not playing him is because, while a very good card, you really just don't use your G-Zone that much, and there's no reason. While this card retire will finish games, Genovius will finish games on his own. But I really recommending trying him out, because even though he's going for like $60 or more right now in USD, it's just a solid card for Aquaforce. There's no reason not to play him. I would recommend taking out Wailing Thaps and playing this guy if I could. Another card is Marine General of Heavenly Silk, Lambros. Stride Step, Auto Vanguard Circle, choose up a face down card named Lambros in your G-Zone, turn face up, so you are going to play 2 of him if you are going to play him. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if it's the 4th battle or more, you may pay the cost. Choose up 2 rearguards, stand them, then if the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone is 2 or more, they get plus 10k. Lambros is nice because he doesn't take GB. It activates on 4th battle, giving you 2 more attacks. And then it gives a nice plus 10k. The only reason we're not going to play him is because Alexandros is a much better card if you're going to use your G-Zone. If you're going to use a early G unit, you'd rather go into Gembo Dragon. That is the reason I'm not playing him, but if you feel you want to, then go ahead and try him out. Finally, we have Blue Furious Charge Dragon, Feragius Dragon. This is the new stride from Premium Collection 2022. Stride Step, and then Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit attack, cost counterblast 1, turn of card in your G-Zone face up. You get an Imaginary Gift XL, which is very nice. Choose up to the same number of your rear guards as the same number of face-up cards in your G-Zone and stand them. So then if you choose up to one of your rear guards, move it to an additional rear guard circle, and it gets power plus 10k. This allows you to choose a back row unit that you restood and give it plus 10k and allow it to attack on the new Imaginary Gift XL. Or if you just want one of your other grade 2 units, grade 3 units to attack again, feel free to do so. The only reason I am not playing this card, most Aquaforce lists are playing him as a 1-of at the moment, even in Thavis and Valios if you won't feel like it. But he is a finisher, and he's just really not a finisher that you need in Genovius, as you're standing same number in G-Zone, which I would assume you're standing most of your field, if not all of it, which Genovius already does if you're past 4 damage, which if you're going into Feragius, you probably would be. And then the power plus 10k is nice, but Genovius gives power plus 5k to the entire field, so there's really no reason to play this card. It's a bit unnecessary, but if you feel like this is the sauce you want to go for, I would recommend putting him as a 1-of. That is it from my list. I will be making another video going over one of the gameplay vids that I've done on CFA, and on August 19th, as V Clan Collection has been delayed by a week. Around the end of August is when I'll be getting my split for the V Clan Collection Aquaforce. I will be doing an IRL deck profile for this deck. So please like and subscribe if you want to see those. And thank you for watching.